liberal tears gun oil because America.
Hey guys, Stag Wolf and Stag Wastelander. So back at you guys again with another video, this time about the SB tactical brace situation and all pistol braces in general. I just watched a video from Reno May that had a little bit more information on the current situation with the pistol braces and what the ATF is doing. They're now, the Department of Justice and the ATF has opened up a letter, or opened up the time for us to contact them and tell them how we feel about it. I did this during the bump stock ban. I told them that I felt that it was unconstitutional to regulate a piece of plastic and it violates their own definition of a fully automatic weapon. And now they're reclassifying pistol braces as an SBR. This affects the Wastelanders personally, as we do have a couple of AR pistols within our arsenals, and we do have them braced. This is starting to, right now you guys can see the beginnings of tyranny and what's going on. So those of you that don't know, the ATF has decided to suddenly magically reclassify pistol braces. It started with the Q Honey Badger that they reclassified as a short-barreled rifle. SB Tactical then decided to fight them. Well, then they came after SB Tactical and said 23 of your brace designs didn't meet our definition, and they're not, and blah 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 blah. Apparently SB Tactical sat on this information for a while. This came out from Tim from Military Arms Channel. They didn't notify other brace manufacturers, so nobody knew until recently what they were fully doing. This has come about because a current Democratic candidate, he hasn't been fully elected, but we won't get into that side of it, had a meeting with the Department of Justice and the ATF in particular. This meeting said that he wanted to get rid of braced pistols and ghost guns, or polymer 80 kits, or whatever you want to call them, 80% build kits. Ghost guns, that's what they call them. And so first they went after the brace pistols, and then shortly after that they went after polymer 80 and other 80% manufacturers. So they've violated their own definitions of what a firearm is with those, with the 80%, and they've reclassified them, or they might be reclassifying. We're not 100% sure on that yet. That still hasn't come out. And then they came with the pistol brace determination that they now are opening for questions and letters and comments, which I do urge everyone to go and do. Comment, tell them how you feel, let them know that this is a load of crap, that magically overnight you're going to have 100 million felons overnight magically. But that's their end goal. They want to get rid of firearms. Again, please ignore the noise in the background. But they want to get rid of our firearms. They want to take them. This is purely part of their plans. This is purely part of the Potatoes plans and Kamala's plans. They want to try to get rid of our firearms, and so they're going to try to make us pay a tax stamp for magazines, $200 a magazine, $200 to own an AR-15 or any other semi-automatic rifle, and now they're making us pay a tax stamp to own a pistol. At that point, then you might as well just buy a stock and file the NFA paperwork. But then this all goes back to, it becomes a, and I'm not a lawyer, but this becomes a registration. This is their way of finding out who has what and what they can take when they decide to completely destroy and gut the Second Amendment. Not that they haven't gutted it enough. So to have the ATF go and make these arbitrary assumptions and make these arbitrary decisions, just like they did with the bump stocks, starts to make us concerned. We're watching tyranny begin in the process. And if you guys don't know history, this country's revolution actually started over a gun confiscation. That's a historical note. Lexington and Concord went on because the British Army was going to take firearms from the militia, take their arms and ammunition, and basically prevent the colonists from being able to defend themselves. And so that's what we're seeing now, is the steps towards that, or that's what I feel we're seeing. That's my opinion on it. The situation with the ATF, who's a law enforcement agency, they have no legislative authority behind what they're doing, but they're constantly arbitrarily changing rules. And it bothers me that a law enforcement agency can do this. That these guys can go and they can just make arbitrary rules. And that they can just say whatever they feel that they don't want around, they can decide that. And there's no getting around it. Nobody in our Congress or our Senate, nobody in the Congress is going to stand up. That means nobody in the House and nobody in the Senate is going to stand up and say, whoa, you guys don't have any authority. I encourage you to pressure your lawmakers to tell them that we employed you to have our best interests at heart. But I implore you to do this without, cussing them out. As I said in my last video, don't tell them to go fuck themselves. That gets you nowhere. Tell them that you don't appreciate, or that you oppose this, that this isn't American values, that this violates everything. But as we've seen recently from the Supreme Court, I don't really think that they're going to care. They're not going to care about the Constitution or the laws. So what we have to do is, we the people have to make a stand. We have to make a decision. Are we going to comply or are we not going to comply? They want to make me pay a tax for something that I own already, that I've already been taxed on. I don't understand how the whole situation, I mean I do. I've seen the slow march since I was in junior high, and in the past several years I've seen it accelerate to this point. And it's only getting worse as the anti-gunners feel more emboldened. The control-loving statists, the communists that have infiltrated our nation, feel more and more emboldened to do these things. So what I'm trying to get at is, we don't appreciate it. We don't understand, and we can't stand back and just let this happen. A lot of people just stood back and let it happen with the bump stocks. That was the first step. And a lot of us said it. I said it included, that when they come for the bump stock, I didn't have a video back then for it, but when they came for the bump stocks, next thing's going to be pistol braces. The next thing's going to be your pistol. Then next thing's going to be your AR-15 or your AK-47. And this is just the acceleration of this. I'm encouraging people to contact the White House, contact the Department of Justice, contact the ATF, and tell them that you oppose this. That this violates the Second Amendment, this violates their oath of office, this violates the Constitution. It's becoming clearer and clearer that they don't care, that their employers, that's us, the people, want to have our lives and want to be left alone and have freedom. They don't care. You know it, I know it. So what we need you guys to do is we need to go into, we need to do everything we can. We need to talk about it. We need to get this information out. We need to spread it. We need to tell everyone what's going on. We need to let people see this. People that aren't understanding how quickly this can erode away your rights. We've heard for years, we've heard for years that the the Constitution was written when muskets were the common firearm. Well, if that's true, then I'm going to say this to you people who believe that you have the ultimate right to say whatever you want on phones and on computer. The First Amendment was written when we didn't have computers or smartphones, so therefore the First Amendment only applies to written letters and printing presses. No, it doesn't. The founders knew that technology would advance. Back in the day, they had basically what amounted to a semi-automatic weapon, which was the puckle gun. It was essentially a semi-automatic weapon back in the day. They knew about it. They used it. Sometimes we actually used them in action, mostly on our naval vessels, back during the Revolution. So what this is saying is these people are statists. These people that want to get rid of the Second Amendment, these people are statists, and this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to destroy our nation. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They want control. And by them having government agencies and having people within these government agencies that make arbitrary rulings that magically suddenly change. I mean, one minute it was okay for braced pistols. The next minute it's not okay. Next minute it's okay to shoulder. Then it's not okay to shoulder. Then it's okay to shoulder again incidentally. So if you're shooting and it accidentally touches your shoulder, then that's okay. And now all of a sudden, no, they're stocks. Just arbitrary rulings all around. We've been fighting this for a very long time. Same with the polymer 80 situation. They just randomly decide what's a firearm and what's not. Violating their own definition in their own books and their own rules about what a firearm is. A lot of you guys know that every one of us that is a Second Amendment supporter, we have a stake in this. We have a stake in our rights, we have a stake in our nation, and we have a stake in firearms laws. But it's becoming clearer and clearer that we might not have much left. We might have to make some standing soon. We might have to protest. We might have to actually take to the streets. It's becoming clearer and clearer that the rule of law no longer exists in this nation. The recent debacle with the election in the Supreme Court isn't proof enough that the rule of law no longer exists in this nation, which we're a nation of laws. We were a nation created of laws. It's becoming clearer and clearer that the Constitution is just nothing to these people. They swear an oath to it and then they don't care. We actually have, in Michigan, they have a senator in their state house who was calling for violence and action against Trump supporters and Second Amendment supporters. I'm not calling for violence, but I am calling for civil disobedience. I'm calling for protest. I'm calling for you to write your Congress people, write your senators, write the Department of Justice. Again, be respectful when you write them. Otherwise, they're just going to ignore what you write. They're just going to throw it out. They're not going to care. I encourage you to support groups like Firearms Policy Coalition, Gun Owners of America. Join if you can. If you can afford it, please join. Do everything you can to fight. Don't think the NRA is going to help. The NRA hasn't done anything. The NRA just went and got the kid that the leftist soy drinking Santa cried. They instead of fighting this, which, okay, fine, I'm cool with them getting him his Nerf gun, but they should also be making a statement and fighting for our rights. But they're not. So don't think that the National Rifle Association is going to give a damn about us, because they don't, and I don't support them. So again, to reiterate everything, the ATF is now making braced pistols illegal, just an arbitrary ruling. They're going after polymer 80, again, an arbitrary ruling, and they're coming after gun owners, all on the decisions of a potato who isn't officially president of the United States. Let that sink in. All we can do is band together. We need to band together at this time. Those people that bought firearms, during the recent COOF surge, I would encourage them to stand up for what's right and to join us in our fight to protect ourselves, protect our country, and protect our Second Amendment. I know that a lot of them aren't, and I've done a video on it. I think I'm going to do another one about new gun owners from leftist areas who continue to vote for these same policies. But as always, guys, all of our stuff is down in the links below. Please consider becoming patrons, and please consider donating to us on PayPal to help us continue doing what we're doing. As you guys know, I've been laid off since September, so my income is very minimal. And once again, as always, this is Stag with Wolf and Stag Wastelanders, and I'll see you out in the wasteland.